Est-Ouest 91.7.
Rama, it's 9 o'clock. The news with Aries Stewart. Good morning, Aries.
Good morning, Sophie.
We start with the headlines.
Police Superintendent Ashik Jagai arrested last night in reward money saga. Accident at Mauritius container terminal injures truck driver. Singer Hans Nina arrested for drug trafficking. Key rate maintained at 4.50% by Bank of Mauritius. MRA opens online applications for income support. In world news, cautious optimism after Trump EU leaders meeting. And in sports news, PSG wins first ever UEFA Super Cup. He's scheduled to appear in court today, but last night, following about 5 hours of questioning, Police Superintendent Ashik Jagai was arrested. The provisional charges against him, public official using his office for gratification for another person under the Prevention of Corruption Act and the Financial Crimes Commission Act. This is yet another development in the reward money saga shaking the police force. Pranav Bihari tells us more.
This marks the sixth arrest in the FCC investigation into the police informant reward system, according to investigators while heading the former Special Striking Team in November 2022. From August 2022 to February 2024, he is also suspected of abusing his position to grant an undue benefit to another individual. Finally, from April to September 2024, he allegedly approved an overpayment of more than 17 million rupees on fraudulent claims, while only 292,300 rupees were justified. He was confronted with supporting documents. His lawyer Rauf Gulbul stated that his client is fully cooperating with the investigators. After his appearance this morning, he is to return to Redwi Triangle for further questioning.
Jagai spent the night in custody at the Coromandel police station. His lawyer, Rauf Gulbul, stated last night that his client had answered all questions from investigators. Several more questioning sessions are planned in the coming days. The Port Police have launched an investigation into an accident on 12 August at the Mauritius container terminal in Merouge. Around 7:40 p.m., a truck belonging to the Cargo Handling Corporation Limited, towing two 20-foot trailers loaded with containers, lost the central left rear wheels. As a result, the containers fell onto the road after sudden braking. The 55-year-old driver was injured and taken to G2 Hospital in Port Louis. An alcohol test came back negative. Singer Hans Nina has once again been caught by the anti-drug brigade. Yesterday, an ADSU team from Maibu searched his home in Grosbois. The search uncovered about 560 grams of cannabis and more than 1 million rupees in cash. He now faces a provisional charge of drug trafficking. The Monetary Policy Committee decided yesterday to keep the key interest rate unchanged at 4.50%. This rate affects the cost of bank loans and the interest paid on savings. Bank of Mauritius Governor Rama Sitanen said the decision was due to slightly rising inflation driven by temporary factors. The refinancing rate had been increased by 50 basis points last February.
There are some issues. We have raised these issues with the people who appoint us, and this is being looked into. The person who has appointed me as governor is the Prime Minister of this country, and I have his confidence. The Deputy Prime Minister said, because of chaotic situation in which the Sultan was, he also supported that appointment. And I thank him for that. And he said that I've done a good job, and I must say, it's not me, it's a team.
I'm asking for some fairness also. So if you look at academic qualification, which university I've been to, if you look at my experience as Minister of Finance, people may not like me for anything that I've done, but people respect me. And if you look at my expertise, if you look across the world, most of the time the governor of a bank is an economist. Go and check. I'm a qualified economist.
Sitanen also responded to the criticism from Deputy Prime Minister Paul Béranger about the central bank's operations and his own appointment, stressing his nomination reflects the Prime Minister's trust in him.
This is absolutely false. Does anybody think that Rama Sitanen, with 46 years experience, 10 years as Minister of Finance, will allow anybody else to run the bank? This used to happen before. Nobody runs the Bank of Mauritius. I'm the governor of the bank. But there's been a campaign, and harcèlement contre mon fils, which is very unfair.
Recent appointments announced by the President of the Republic, particularly within the Competition Commission of Mauritius, have sparked a wave of reactions. Critics say some selections were politically motivated rather than merit-based. Laura Jaimangal, Executive Director of Transparency Mauritius, told IM1 that the appointment system should be reformed, highlighting potential conflicts of interest. This has reignited debate over transparency and the criteria for filling key posts. Anjali Siratan-Puchan gives us more details.
What is important now is to determine where the conflict comes from. At the same time, we need to acknowledge that Mauritius is a small country. We do not have a large population, so very often we find ourselves on an island where we know someone or are related to them. What is important is to declare and ensure that there is no direct connection or any possibility of confidential exchanges. But in this particular case, it is true that perception is stronger. Because it is a direct case, it is his daughter, which makes the perception somewhat problematic. It is important to review the criteria by which this person was selected. Was there an open call? Were there different candidates considered? When the choice was made, everything must be clear so that the perception changes.
And staying on the subject, beyond the controversy, what does the Competition Commission actually do? Created in 2009 under the Competition Act of 2007, it ensures markets remain open, fair and dynamic. It investigates secret cartels, abuse of dominant positions and mergers that could restrict competition. The Commission is independent from the government to guarantee impartiality. Ashi Bachu tells us more.
Independent from the government to ensure its impartiality, the Mauritius Competition Commission acts as a true guardian of the national economy. It has extensive investigative powers. It can summon, inspect, seize documents, and question economic operators. And when a company harms competition, it can impose sanctions. Its role is clear: enforce the law by sanctioning any anti-competitive practice, whether it involves abuse of dominance or harmful mergers, or advise the government to prevent certain policies or regulations from distorting market competition and harming consumers. But this effectiveness relies on the competence and integrity of the men and women who make it up. The executive director, together with their team, conducts investigations. The commissioners, for their part, make the final decision. They can order measures to correct the situation. For example, if two major supermarket chains in Mauritius agree to sell powdered milk at the same high price, consumers have no option to pay less elsewhere. In such a case, the Competition Commission investigates, verifies the facts, and can order the practice to stop and impose sanctions. The Mauritius Competition Commission protects consumers, promotes a competitive market, and ensures that a company's success is based on performance, not on unfair practices.
And in other news from today, eligible individuals can apply for income support directly on the Mauritius Revenue Authority's website. This monthly allowance of 10,000 rupees plus a matching bonus in December is intended for those turning 60, but not yet eligible for the basic retirement pension due to the gradual increase in pension age from 60 to 65. Applicants must meet citizenship or residency criteria and have a monthly income below 10,000 rupees for singles or 20,000 rupees for couples. Applications require a national ID, mobile number and bank details. A one-time password is also sent by SMS to validate the process. And it's 9:09. You're listening to RM1. We move to international news where European leaders expressed cautious optimism after a virtual meeting yesterday with Donald Trump 2 days before his summit with Vladimir Putin in Alaska. The US president said he aimed to secure a ceasefire between Moscow and Kiev. According to the BBC, Trump acknowledged that territorial issues should involve Ukrainian president and that any agreement must include security guarantees. French President Emmanuel Macron said the meeting helped clarify intentions and communicate expectations. And finally, we finish with sport where Paris Saint-Germain claimed the UEFA Super Cup for the first time in its history. Tottenham Hotspur led 2-0 after goals from Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero early in the second half. PSG fought back with Lee Kang-in scoring in the 85th minute and Gonzalo Ramos equalizing in stoppage time from an Ousmane Dembele cross. In the penalty shootout, goalkeeper Lucas Chevalier stood out and Nuno Mendes scored the decisive goal. The final score 4-3 to PSG on penalties. The victory is a strong start ahead of their league opener this Sunday, 17 August. And that's all from me this morning. Thanks so much for listening. Okay, stay tuned now to the Intermeet playlist until 10 a.m.